in heavier traveling light. There's one thing that's right wherever I go. That's where I am.
Welcome back, everybody. Oh, yeah. Can I eat it?
No.
That is so...
Sounds like a real quick way to get something eaten there, Emma.
That was so crazy. That was like putting a treat on a dog's nose. And then, like, can I eat it now? It's like, you can't eat it at all. And then give it back to me. That's fine. I'm trying not to eat treats. But,
It's like putting a salmon in a bear's mouth and going, stop it. What the hell's wrong with you?
welcome back, everybody. Welcome to a fresh, brand new episode. Definitely didn't just record one 2 seconds ago. This is episode 401. All right, the last one was 400. The big, I threw my hands around. None of them came off like a Nazi salute. Just if you want to take tips, Elon. And now we're at episode 401. We left with the cliffhanger last week. I don't know if you remember the cliffhanger. It was Mike apparently almost dies while sleeping all the time. And you have a sleep apnea machine? Is that what I've heard?
I just got a CPAP for the first time. Cue the audience cheers.
Woo!
Yes. And it's not scary at all. This is a couple episodes of pictures from my phone. But are you ready for the worst image of your life?
Yes.
And that's the latest model.
Oh my god! Is this so that you don't wake up gasping for air?
Well, I guess I wake up. I stop breathing a lot at night, and I snore. So,
Wow.
pick whichever one you think is the best. This looks like snuffleupagus, but more like huffs a lot of gas. There's something really wrong with that.
So you sleep with that every night?
Why? I don't know. Tonight's the first night. We'll see what happens.
That thing looks like it's built for an emergency that isn't for you. Like you had to put on a kid's oxygen mask or something, and they're like, well, the fire's coming. And so you had to put it on. You're like, is it going to work? And you're like, I guess. I don't know.
Well, they make adjustments so that it's not over your mouth. So it's just in your nose, like this. So that way, if you have like a mustache or a beard, you don't have to shave. Because prior, you used to have to you got to shave, dude. No mustaches, no beards. Or just a goatee and, okay, cool, what am I, a principal from the 90s? No, I'm going to get rid of the whole thing.
What am I, a male stripper moonlighting as a pro wrestler? What are we doing here? Buff Bagwell?
What am I, a roulette dealer? No, I'm not having a goatee. So, but it just puts air in your nose. It's wild, man. I didn't know what to expect, but with the thing in, and I could just open my mouth and just air's coming out because it's just passing air. It's crazy.
And it's noisy too. It's a machine. Isn't it like white noise?
The new ones are whisper.
Oh, wow.
Really?
Can't even hear it. It's pretty cool.
All right.
Except the lady so I had to go to class today. I had to go to a CPAP class, which is like...
Was it?
I always thought one day I'd go back to school, but I didn't think it'd be a school for breathing fatzos.
was it on the first floor, or did they make you guys go upstairs?
It was on the second floor, and there were people lined up for the elevator, and it was only a 2-story building. And I go, we're all here for a bad reason, and I swear to God, then I took the stairs. I was like, I have to do it.
Oh my
But
god!
I was the first person there, teacher's pet, and I thought about bringing an apple, and I tried to do the thing. You know when you're in like DUI class for the 4th time, and you're like, I know this lady. You know what I mean? You go in as an adult it's like a 45-minute class on how to, I guess, breathe at night, which I thought that was just kind of part of being a human. We had to learn how to use the machine. No one else showed up.
So it was just
for class.
It was just you?
So it was just me. And then like 10 minutes later, after she gives me like a 10-minute, like, all right, here's what we're doing. And she's very much like, because this is new, by the way, new technology. They attach, like there's built-in, they have their own Wi-Fi so that they're constantly reporting back to the company. Because if you're not using it at least 4 hours a night, they cut you off.
Wow.
Insurance stops paying for it. They don't want you to have it and not use it. And so I was like, so if I'm like on an airplane, can I like use the Wi-Fi? She's like, no. They've tried that before. But then a lady comes in next to me. Most people that are in these classes, I'm not speaking out of turn. Most people that need a CPAP, they don't look like you guys. They look like me. They're more
big.
Let's call them bulky.
Yeah.
Let's call them huskers, if you will.
I think that's what they prefer. I believe.
I think so.
Yeah.
I don't know. Ask me. I prefer men with boobs. But this lady sits next to me, and she's, also unbearded me. And she's terrified. She's so scared. She's like, I don't want to do this. I can't sleep with that. What am I, a robot? But she was freaking out. And so my instincts kicked in, and I was like, me and her are just going to have fun, and we're going to make fun of the teacher the rest of the time. And some new guy comes in. He's also late. Overslept, I'm sure, obviously. We don't sleep at night, So I just spent the whole time just trying to like make her laugh, and it got to the point where it was being a little bit like, I was like, I'm about to get kicked out of CPAP class. Because I was just cracking jokes the whole time. She'd be like, all right, make sure you wash your tube. And I go, I learned that when I was a kid. It was stuff like that where I was like, ugh, sorry. And then I saw a sign on the wall that was like, no cell phones, no excessive talking, no inappropriate speech. I was like, oh no! Like, not only am I breaking the rules, I'm a hack. Like they had to put this up because of people like me coming in and be like, hey, look at me, I'm like a dad. Like it was hilarious.
Which button does my wife have to hit to kill me? Which one?
Well, you ready for this? I also have to, because you're not supposed to have your mouth open, and so she told me I had to wear a chin strap that like attaches to my head to keep my mouth shut. And she goes, this keeps your mouth shut at night. And I go, good thing my wife's not here. She'd ask you if I can use it during the day.
Hey!
Not one response. Nobody. I was like, come on, help me out here.
Is this thing on?
Hello? Is this machine out? Is this machine blowing air? Hey, cold air coming through this, hot air coming through this. Anybody out there?
Beep.
Yeah, I wish I had a trombone with me at all times.
That's good.
So before you came to this, you were at CPAP class.
Yes, that's why I couldn't do it until 1 o'clock my time, because I had breathing school.
I mean, that's perfect. That worked out because I don't think we could have woken up earlier than this. Because last night I had a show that was 2 hours, over. It was like 3 hours away. So it's 3 hours up, 3 hours back. And then tonight I got to drive up to Oxnard, which is like 4 hours from here. Levity. And then I got to come back. And then I have an early flight to Portland. So I'm going to get back like after midnight and then wake up at like 4 a.m. to go. So believe me, I would like, I would love a CPAP class like that. I don't. I'm not trying to make fun of your injury to your breathing, but
it's not an injury. It's called Mikey likes to eat.
But
because it's a fat guy disease.
But it's not
for the most part.
Yeah, there are some skinnies that get the sleep apnea, and they just have like deviated septums. I don't know if they did cocaine back in the day or what they did, but they like their noses don't work. Do I snore a lot?
No, not always.
But sometimes. Sometimes if like the pillow catches me on the back part of my head and tilts me like this, I'll snore. But you're very quick to jab me in the ribs and go, "Hey, what the hell do you think you're doing?" And I'm like, "Well, I was asleep."
I'm so excited to go to sleep tonight. I can't wait. I'm like, the other two people in there were just like, ugh. I was like, are you guys kidding me? You're going to sleep tonight. Like, you're going to go to sleep. Like, I'm hoping that I've cleared my schedule tomorrow morning because I'm hoping I sleep through the day. Like, I hope my body's like, oh, this is what rest feels like. Like, I don't know. I know that's not going to happen, but part of me hopes it does.
But we haven't talked about Becca, who gets to sleep next to that photo that you said that you're going to strap into. It would be great. I would love for you to try to make a move, but not remove the mask. You're like, let the device be part of it. It's just shoving. What if you became a better love maker because of the extra oxygen that you're now getting shot into your lungs?
It's impossible.
It's impossible.
If you get any better, I'll ascend to the heavens. You know what I mean? Just let the tube. Would you stop with the tube is on my head? Just dangling from above.
You just look like Bane from Batman. Just.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty. Sorry, it's a silly episode.
I mean, the tube is ribbed.
All right.
And good night, everybody.
It's a reservoir, everybody. Good night. We're all here. Tip your veals. Try your waitresses. It's supposed to be tip the waitress, try the veal.
Oh.
And then Bob, my buddy Bob, who gave me the shirt, he flips it. Just like I flipped the word flip and tried to say swips it, which isn't even a flip of the word flip. You get what I'm saying.
No idea.
No idea what's going on. I mean, I don't know. I'm very happy for you.
Yeah.
I'm happy that you're going to be able to breathe.
Yeah.
You're going to have to now travel with this device. This is going to be a device you're going to now have to take out at security. When he goes to TSA, he's going to have to pull it out like it's a laptop, put it in its own tray.
But I learned today in class that it does not count as a carry-on. So if I have my personal plus a roller, I get a third of this because it's a medical device and they can't tell me I can't bring it on.
Wow.
So it doesn't count towards my carry-on
I'd sneak
stuff.
stuff in there too. Put a little extra.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. I could just put all the stuff in my backpack and then I can put, I don't know, keyboard. I don't know what I can
You
bring.
could jam like edibles and stuff in the tube. Like you could fill the tube with pills and different drugs. And they're like, you can't look into my medical device.
They also told me this, and I didn't ask, but I'm going on a cruise at the end of March because some of my college buddies decided to go on a cruise for like a bachelor party type thing.
Hey.
And she goes, if you go on a cruise anytime soon, you got to tell the ship in advance because they use alkalized water on ships, and they will give you distilled, but you have to let them know in advance for the machine. I was like, I'm so glad you said that. I never would have asked that.
So
And now I know.
crazy.
I got to call up Celebrity Cruises and ask for distilled water. And she goes, oh, cool. And we'll see you at the buffet. Like, they got to correlate those people. We got 4 distilled waters on level 2. Like, oh, God.
I've been on cruise ships.
Get the cheese out.
I've been on cruise ships. I used to do comedy on them for years. I'm surprised there aren't top-level meetings amongst CEOs and board members going, should we just put distilled water on cruise ships because 98% of our clientele is asking for it for their CPAP
So
machines.
They just have the CPAP tube. It looks just like a USB charger, outlet for your computer, air hose.
It
Like
seems
all
very
right there
on
on
brand.
your lamp. That's fun being big.
You're not heavy,
That's cool.
Yeah, you don't-
I'll die. Guess how much I weigh. Tell me I'm not
but you're
heavy.
tall. You're like 6'6"
Okay.
or something.
6'5".
Yeah. I don't know, 275.
Wrong.
Are you over 3?
307. baby.
Oh, okay. I was close. I'm in the range.
But like you don't look fat. You just
Yeah.
look like a tall guy.
Yeah, you're in proportion,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would look weird if I had.
You know who looks
90
weird?
feet or something.
Basketball players, because they're giant but they're thin and they look like aliens. Like you ever see those guys walking through the airport, you're like, where are your kneecaps? Like it's just they look fluid. They look like spermatoa in water or something. They're just kind of floating around and
massive feet.
yeah, huge feet. You're like, that's an athlete? Like giant for sure, but like you can run with all that? It's crazy.
People always tell me, they're like, oh, you carry it so well. I'm like, well, I'm still carrying it.
Right.
So tell my knees that I'm carrying it well. Tell my lower back every time I sneeze. No, you don't look that.
You can't tell, but if I was naked right now, I'd be covered in copper fit and kinetic tape. That was I remember I did a comedy festival with Big J Hollingsworth. He's a very funny comic now living in Vegas. Used to live in Seattle, but he was my roommate for the festival. And this guy's even bigger than you. He's lost a lot of weight now, but he was like 6'9", so he's got a few inches on you, and he was over 300 pounds, big guy. And I remember I went in the shower, and then I came out of the shower, and he's just in his underwear on the bed with his knee up, and he's putting all this like kinetic tape, this weird, and I'm like, what the hell are you doing? And he's like, my knees are shot. This is what I got to do to walk. And it took him 45 minutes to strap up his knees and tape it in a way and then put a sleeve over that so he could go walk because he's sick. He's a giant. He's a giant man.
Right.
And there's a lot of weight on his knees. And I was just like, oh, my God,
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you should tell people that.
I got told I should start wearing compression socks. I was like, oh, cool. Like 80-year-olds in Key West? That's what I got to do now?
He just got some.
I got some.
Did
yeah,
you?
well, because I did a private event for an aluminum smelting company, and they offered me a tour of the factory, and I was like, I'll go see the plant where I've never seen aluminum get made. I want to see this. So in the email, they're like, bring either work boots, which I don't have, or bring crew socks because they have boots for you to wear. But if you wear like ankle socks, like I normally wear, it's gonna rub on it's not gonna feel good. So the day of my tour, I just ran to CVS, and because I know they sell socks over there, but it's all compression socks. So I wore like 80-year-old lady compression socks up to my knees. They look like pantyhose. And now I'm going to like a manly man plant where I'm going to take my shoes off, and I'm like, I hope they don't see my pantyhose. Like, I was so nervous that they were going to call me out for these compression socks, but they didn't see it.
Yeah, they were fitting. Is that a CVS or a Fredericks of Hollywood? I don't know, but it looks like socks.
They were light gray, and they already came with the varicose veins on them, like printed on. So it just matched what was already going on, or what should be going on.
That's so funny.
Yeah. Yeah,
I should wear compression socks. My legs are so big. It's mental.
It feels great because I actually ended up wearing them the next day for my flight home, and I wear my little running shoes, and then I had the high socks, so it looked weird, but my legs felt great. Not that they were ever a problem when I landed, but like they felt even better than they should otherwise.
I wear them too on flights, and it makes such a difference.
Yeah.
Such a difference.
They told me I could bring my CPAP machine on an airplane. I was like, there's a lot of things I'll do to be comfortable, but CPAPing on an airplane ain't gonna be one of them, pal.
Is this the age we're at? We're talking about CPAP machines and compression socks. That just hit me right now. We've been talking about CPAP and compression socks for like 20 minutes, and we're like, no, these are good. This is what you need. Let's talk about lotions, all right? Our elbows.
What's your wrist guard situation? Just wearing tennis elbow bubbles for no reason.
She has a cyst in one of her wrists. What do you have? The Bible cyst?
Oh, the ganglion cyst.
Ganglion cyst in one of her wrists.
Yeah.
And
what's that?
It's a cyst.
Is that since you moved to California, you have to join a gang? Do you guys get it?
We're in it. I know how to do that. Thank you, Nelly. But no, she came to boxing with me years ago.
Yeah, I used to go like a lot.
Yeah, and you were really good.
Yeah.
And for some reason, no one was noticing that you were punching with your hand open.
With the left one, yeah.
Yeah, with the left one, you wouldn't close it all the way.
Yeah.
Because it's in a glove, you can't see that.
No one ever told me.
I mean, you're supposed to, yeah.
I mean.
And then on some of them, you were curving your wrist on the hook, which for the people that don't box, you're supposed to keep your wrist nice and straight. Otherwise, you can injure your wrist throwing it like curved like that. So, and you were doing that, and you're like, my wrist really hurts.
Yeah.
And we went to the doctor and MRI or whatever, X-ray.
Yeah, we did an MRI.
MRI, and they're like, yep, there's a cyst in there. Mm-hmm. And there's no, they can cut it out surgically, but the doctor recommended just leave it alone and it might go away on its own.
Yeah, and it's called a Bible cyst because a lot of people use a book to just pop it.
They slam it with a book.
Yeah.
But the doctor said don't do that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it just popped on its own because I don't feel the pain anymore. But
yeah, or it just got really small because
years.
you're not punching it anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you found God. One of the two. I was wondering if it was a Bible cyst. I was like, is it here? Because that's where they nailed it. I don't know,
Oh
man.
my God.
I was really trying to figure out what the Bible reference was. I was like, where does the Old Testament come into play?
I mean, it does show how far medicine has come, where years ago when you had a cyst, they would just slam a book on your wrist and go, is that better? And you're like, I mean, I don't want you to do it again, so I'm going to say yeah, but mate, no, it hurts.
There's a lot of
Well, they used to name diseases after the cure. Very similar to what we're talking about here.
The ganglion. What were you about to say?
I was just gonna say that, like, if you type it into YouTube, you'll see a lot of videos of people actually slamming their.
Oh yeah, they get big. Like
Some
hers
of
was
them are
small,
big, yeah.
so it wasn't showing on. Like if you just looked at it, it was in the MRI. But like you go on YouTube, people have a giant bump coming off of right there, and then it's like ready, steady, yeah, and you're like, whoa.
That's crazy.
If I had a big bump like that on my wrist and the doctor's like, you just let it go, I'd be like, cool, I'm going to get another doctor. Like, is there any way, can you do your job? I'm sorry you've had a tough week, but can you get this ball out of my arm? I'd be so pissed if a doctor's like, let it go.
Well, because he was saying, he's like, you can have surgery to have it removed, but the fear is that it's going to come back. And he was like, if it's impeding you and hurting you on a daily basis, let's do surgery and we'll get it out of there. But if it's something you can work around, I'd say rest it for what did he say, 6 weeks, and see how you feel.
It was like 6 months. To
6
a year.
months.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, it took like 2 years for it to fully go away.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
I can't tolerate that. See, I got my thing taken off.
What'd you get taken
a
off?
couple of weeks
What
ago.
is that?
Remember I had that little skin tag that was like running under my
Oh
eyeball?
yeah.
She's gone.
How did they
now.
remove it?
Had a really nice doctor. He bit it off. My doctor just
You're so ridiculous.
gnarled it off.
The same one that John Candy told that principal to go to, and Uncle Buck, hey, here's a quarter. Why don't you go downtown and have a rat gnaw that thing off your face?
I remember that scene. I
It's
like
a
that
good scene.
Well, I think technically it would be considered cosmetic because if it's not like on your eyeball or like,
Yeah.
if it's not like impeding your health,
Right.
I think they would consider it cosmetic and then insurance wouldn't cover it. So, and in the truth of the matter is, folks here, the truth is that I could see it, right? So it's blocking my vision.
Wow.
That's good.
But old HealthNet.
So that's what I told the doctor, and he goes, I go, yeah, it's really like I can get like a glare off of it from the sun. It's really hurting my ability to walk and drive. And I think he knew that I was trying to do my best. And he puts his hand on me. He goes, insurance. I was like, all right, good, thank you.
You're over there like, what? Where are you?
Who said that?
There's a hair growing out of the tag, and it's covering my...
Did I ever tell you this story? Did I ever talk about how I faked needing glasses? Did we ever do that on the show?
No.
I have a bit about it, but I when I was a kid, I wanted glasses because all my family had them, so I felt left out.
Never heard this.
But I didn't know. Like I thought glasses were like because it's called corrective vision.
Right.
So I thought it was to fix cross eyes. I thought glasses were for cross-eyed people. And so I went into the doctor and I stepped into the room like this. I was like, okay, here we go. And the doctor kept being like, what's that first letter? I was like, 7. Like I thought it was outsmarting the system. Yeah. And then the bit goes on from there, but it was a true story. And I ended up getting glasses.
Yeah, I'm sure they were thick bifocal Coke bottle. Like,
Yep.
do I look cool?
It was also the free glasses.
Yeah.
Because it was like on the free day, like twice a year, when the poor kids got to go get medicine. But I also don't know if it was because like I'm confused. I'm 41. I'm confused if we were poor or like middle class or like if we were up and down. Like I don't know because. Also, like, if I had a ton of money and my stupid kid was crossing his eyes, being like, I need glasses, I'd be like, I'm not paying for this. I don't care how much money I have. So I went in, and the whole time I was just like...
I've never heard of a story of a kid wanting glasses.
Yeah.
I had to get them, and I didn't want them. But they were like, you're blind, dude. You cannot see. You need glasses.
Yeah.
Well, I actually found out that I was 21/20 in one eye in 2020. So one eye was actually better than 20/20.
That's insane.
And so they gave me a glass to dumb down one of my eyes. So they actually gave me like reverse glasses to make it worse for one eye so that the other eye didn't strain so hard to try to match. It was just the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Why wouldn't they just boost the other eye to 20/21 or 21?
I don't know. Or it was the other way around.
Oh.
Something happened where they were like, well, this eye's smart, so this eye's, we got a smart. But I'm pretty sure they like blurred the good one to match the 20/20.
Is that a nail clipper?
Oh no, it's I'm still doing some building here, and I'm just fidgeting with it.
I thought you were clipping your nails.
No, it's a little L bracket.
Okay.
Emma watches me.
I got to put a curtain up later. I'll put it down, Emma. I'm sorry, I'm bothering.
No, Emma watches me clip my nails, and while the shrapnel's flying, she just goes, "Are you?
Oh, he's not picking.
Are you?
Up.
Are you gonna get
that
all?
one's gonna be on me.
You forgot one.
I
tried.
stopped saying anything.
Yeah, you
I
have.
just let it go.
You've given up.
Yeah.
Much like I've given up about like dental floss just being left. I've just been like, that's her thing, and then my thing is just pew, pew. We'll find that when we move. Yeah, that's insane. Like I just thought of this. Like, do you think if you wanted to, could someone go and get better than 20/20 vision? Like if I go, because I'm blind, but if next time I go to the optometrist, if I'm like, hey, I don't want 20/20, I want like 22s on both. Just make my contacts thicker, make my glasses. I want 22s. I want to see, you know?
Okay, so yeah, 2015 or even 2010, which means you can see details at a 20 feet that the average person would need to be closer to, like a 10 or wait. Some people, yeah.
So it's possible.
Yes, it's very possible.
I want that.
You can basically have twice. 2010 means that you have twice the distance power as somebody with 2020.
I want to be an eagle, you know? Just like...
Eating raw fish out of a lake.
I mean,
you don't have to do that.
for human sake, you know, just like there's a parking
Okay,
spot
sure.
right there. And then we haul ass and we go get the spot, you know?
I did mushrooms in 2016, and it was the night of the election in 2016 when Rumparoo got in the first time.
That's a good time to do the
And-
shrooms.
Well, because I was on the road a ton back then, so I already knew he was going to win.
yeah.
I didn't need to watch the
I
election.
see.
And then Alex Pavone, who I think you might
Yeah.
know, is also Canadian, so he was like, I don't care. So we were like, let's do mushrooms that night. So we were walking around the neighborhood. It's fall, so like leaves are on the ground, and somebody had some like limo company had made fake dollar bill flyers for their limo company, just advertising limo, and they were all over the neighborhood. And we were like on mushrooms, so we kept like picking them up, being like, oh, money, ah! And then like the moon would lick our face. Like it was a really wild time. The reason I bring this up is because I feel like I have good vision. There's a huge pile of leaves, and the mushrooms in me laser focused into this pile of leaves. I stomped my foot into the leaves and slid out an actual real dollar bill amongst the piles and piles of fake ones. Yeah. It was awesome.
That's crazy.
You took
It felt
so
like-
much
it felt like
shrooms, you
champs.
like connected with the lawn gnomes, and then they're like,
Yeah.
buddy, there's $1 right there. And then you...
Something's yeah.
Wow.
And then we went into a bodega to try to spend it because we weren't convinced.
that it was real.
And we bought a water, gave him the $1, and he took the $1, and then we just left.
We're like,
and we left the water because we're just like, it's real. Let's get out of here.
It worked. Let's run.
It worked. Escape.
That's crazy.
Oh man, that was like when we went to the Appalachian Mountains.
Yeah.
And I took shrooms, and we were staying at that motel that had the deck that
Yeah.
overlooked everything. And you didn't do any shrooms, and I did. And I just laughed hysterically at a goat that was in the yard. They had a goat at this hotel, and I'm just laughing. I'm like, oh my god, that goat. And you're like, this is embarrassing. Like, you need to stop. And I'm like, I'm having such a good time. And the trees were all like, the trees on the other side of the hill were all doing this. They're like, yeah. Like, if you watch wrestling, remember Jey Uso? He does the yeeting.
Yeah.
He's like, yeet. And the whole crowd's doing this. That's what it felt like. All the trees were like, yeah, yeah. And then I'm laughing at this goat. And then I'd look over at you, and you'd just be... and you'd be like, are you going to be good for dinner at 6? Because we got to go down there and have dinner at 6. And I'm like, maybe, who knows? And yeah, man,
You had a
shrooms are
good time.
fun. I think shrooms should be encouraged, but I don't know if you should do them all the time, because I have interacted with people that look like they do shrooms too much, and I'm like, well, now you're no longer on the planet. Or the people that go into ayahuasca. Like I watched the Aaron Rodgers thing where he went to like an ayahuasca thing. And I think that might break your brain. I don't know if that's doing you any good. Maybe to some.
He forgot how to be a quarterback.
Yeah, but, well,
he just got released from the Jets, or he just left the Jets, or released, or who knows what happened. But they've decided, I think yesterday or today, they're moving on from Aaron.
I mean, I
Rodgers.
think that's a good idea for both parties.
Sure.
But yeah, I don't know, because we talked to people that have done the ayahuasca, and we're like,
Yeah, I don't think it's something you should do like every year, every other year. Just do it once.
yeah, do it once, talk to the devil, and then move on with your life.
Yeah.
You know.
I don't know.
I want to do it.
I don't want to do the throwing up thing. Like I watched Aaron Rodgers do it, and afterwards, one of the things is they go into a sweat lodge. They go into this tent with like 20 people in a small cramped space, and they throw hot rocks in there. So it's just steam. And I'm like, Mike, I was claustrophobic watching them do it. And I'm like, I wouldn't last a millisecond into that. I would like.
How long are you supposed to be in there?
I think like an hour or something, like a half. It wasn't a short amount of time. And Aaron Rodgers was talking about how mentally strong it made him, because he's like, I just want to leave, but I'm going to stay in this situation, you know? Which actually, I don't know how he
Sounds like the Jets. I don't care how much they want me gone. I'm sitting right here.
I don't care how much this sucks. I'm wearing this jersey. They're going to have to take me out of here with a forklift.
I don't care how hot it is or how many booze. How many times I got a coffee thrown on my face when I'm walking down 6th Avenue. I'm staying. I'm Aaron goddamn Rodgers.
Because we are in a time where people are trying to like really, really discover themselves, instead of, which is opposite of 50 years ago, where every man just kept their feelings in and tucked their shirt in. And the more that I feel like the more that men were keeping in the 50s, the more they would tuck their shirt in. And that's why like their pants kept coming up, because they started running like every decade. There was just more stuff that they were burying into their soul. And then slowly the belt just started coming up until they looked like Jiminy Glick, and the belt and the collar were super close. And I think now no one's even got their shirts tucked in. Everyone's trying to get to know themselves, but we've almost like gone too far, and we're trying to know ourselves to like a It's almost like we want to do enough hallucinogenics to know what our ancestors went through to get to where we are now. And it's like, maybe you're not supposed to know. Maybe you're not supposed to know that you're reincarnated, and you should just, find a way to be happy with who you are now in this year.
Also, if that's what you're doing, breaking news, that's what books are for. They've written about history. You can just read about it. You don't have to go puke on Aaron Rodgers in a sweat lodge. You can just read it. Or talk to your grandmother, talk to your mom, talk to your aunt. She'll tell you what happened. She'll give you the secret sauce recipe. You're not going to find a wolf in the woods through ayahuasca, and it's going to tell you how you're supposed to live, or be like, well, your great-great-great-grandmother came on the Mayflower. Also, puke over there, please. It's not how it works.
I think that's what people are...
As a guy who's never done it.
I know. Same. As a guy who's never done it, I feel like you take the ayahuasca, and I guess the fantasy is that, just a wolf comes by and he flicks a cigarette and looks you in the eyes and goes, "You're gay," and then he leaves. And then you're like, oh, okay. I thought...
But the wolf has told everybody that, so everyone has to make up a different story. No, I saw a woman in purple. No, you didn't. A wolf flicked a Newport at you and called you gay, bud.
And then you're like, well, I've been living life wrong. Oh, my God. That's what's been inside. You're like, no, mine told me to be an architect. Okay, you're like, all right, go be an architect.
Problem is, I don't own a pencil sharpener, so I guess I'm just going to keep throwing trash. Okay, buddy.
I mean, obviously, I've never done ayahuasca, but with the mushrooms, it's a peaceful thing. And the times that I've taken it, even the people I disagree with, or the people that I maybe don't feel positively around, I see their point of view. That's all it does for me, is I just go, oh, I see why that person's that way. They're just being defensive, and that's their defense mechanism to protect themselves, is to have a strong offense. And it's hard for them to be vulnerable because they're afraid we're just going to pounce on them. And that's what we were doing when we went to Dane's wedding, and I took the shrooms, and then you're just like babysitting me while I'm staring at the curtains and they're breathing, and I'm just going, I understand what's wrong with this friend, it's this thing, and I understand what's wrong with this friend, it's this thing. And I just remember you going, you're being too positive. Some of these people might just suck. And I'm like, that's also true, but also what about, oh, the Pepto-Bismol's here. Can you go get that? Because I'm about to yak in this Airbnb. You know.
Do you ever think how close you are, though, to becoming you know, when you see people like that, you're like, and you do what Emma says, you realize that they're maybe they're just an awful human,
right.
Or maybe they're just I ever wonder how close you are to being that person too. Like, do you ever look at people going, oh, they're definitely saying that about me right now? And that like throws me. After like one or two champagnes at like a wedding or something, I'm like, ooh, everyone here is looking at me and they hate me. Oh, I'm not Jewish, so I shouldn't be with Becky. Like, there's so many things that people are probably saying about me.
Jewish, I shouldn't be with.
It's crazy.
That's so funny.
I've been to several Jewish weddings where I'm like, I look the part, but they're definitely not. They're definitely talking about.
So do you look the part to the point where in New York City that time of year when the Hasidics come by and they go, "Are you Jewish?"
And then when I go, "No," they go, "Ugh." And
they do that to me
too. And then they go
too.
try to scream at somebody in a Palestinian parade. Yeah.
They beat you with the hat. That's what they do. Not the small ones, the bigger hats. They beat you with the hat.
That's almost a dream, I think, of mine, to be physically assaulted by someone like that, or some super religious person. Because that's just like, well, it's self-defense at this point. You know,
What are you doing?
I can release it. No, if I get hit, if you tell me if one of those guys throws their hat, hits you with the hat, you're not slug. Give me one. Hey, buddy, Bible bump. All right. Oh, New Testament bump. That's what I say to him.
If I was beaten by somebody, no matter what religious garb, I think the only thing I could yell out while being punched in the face is, "What would Jesus do?" And hope that connects with them in their religion and go, "Wait, I shouldn't be assaulting this man." And then
I'm not saying getting beat on or jumped by a religious pack. I'm saying, like, if one of those guys hit me one time, I'd hit him back. And I feel like that would be a good release.
I would love to have that reflex, but I think if it's a random person that hits you, there's got to be that moment of like, whoa, what?
Well, yeah. You get jumped from behind.
Yeah. I don't think I would do
process.
Well. Like, Emma's seen me. One time I was doing like, not gardening, but I was like picking something up and like a leaf from a tree like tickled the back of my neck and I didn't know what it was and I like flipped out. And Emma was laughing. I don't know. This would happen a while ago. And then you were laughing. And I was like, oh, my God, that's how... Like, if someone attacked me from behind, that would be a similar reaction. Just flailing like I'm on fire. And hopefully I thumb the guy in the eye while he's behind me. Give me a second to catch my bearings. I'm not ready for emergency situations.
You're not.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't have reflexes. Like, you hit my knee, I cough. Like, I don't, like, nothing, I don't have the, pew, pew, pew. I don't have that.
No.
I go to boxing. They try to teach you reflexes. And I just, like, I'm just there. And they're like, all right, when you see the jab coming, you throw the jab as I throw the jab. And then so you can respond. And I'm like, all right, let's go. Let's try again. All right. Give me a hint. There it is. And it's not, some people have quick reflexes. And not in my lineage, I'll tell you that.
They see your car rolling up to the boxing gym, and everyone's like, "Ooh, I call Zoltan! I call Zoltan!" I just get a bunch of free shots today.
It's so intimidating, and also I'm getting older now. So like when I go to sparring, everyone's young, so I feel like they're young. They're in their 20s, I think. Some of them are in their 30s, but I think I'm edging more towards like, am I getting too old for this? And so they're like trying to pair me up with the right person, and it's just so hard. It's so weird depending on who the level in there you're with, and you're like, please don't kill me. And then, but every once in a while, I'll get in there with someone who's like very new, and I'll be like, yeah, and I'll just give them a little, and then I come back all glowing, and I'm like, oh, I just punched this CPA in the head.
This 23-year-old chick was just trying to learn self-defense. Good luck, toots.
I I have hit some women in the class, which they allow. It's part of it.
Mark, that's the clip. It's just I hit women, and
It's part of the class. It's everybody's there. We're not taking.
buddy, when I first started taking jujitsu, I was paired up with a 5'1" woman, and she destroyed me. She dominated
Really?
me. Because it's a skill.
It is a
I
skill.
didn't have the skill. All I had was if I fall on you, you're dead. That's the only skill that I had.
Did you try to lean on her a little?
No, I mean, I was definitely trying to learn the sport,
Right.
but like she tapped me a few
Okay.
times. I was like, what the? And I was not trying to get tapped. I wasn't like letting her
Yeah.
win,
Wow.
you know?
That's impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, jiu-jitsu's hard. I only did one class, and everybody hurt me. Or they didn't hurt me, but everyone immediately. I was like, I'm being choked by my own belt because you wear a whole karate. But by the way, the outfit for jiu-jitsu makes no sense to what they're doing because it's. You just imagine fighting in your robe. Imagine you and I go put on our bathrobes right now and we wrestle. How long would that bathrobe stay on? Every 4 seconds, we got to adjust the belt and fix our tie.
Yeah.
And like, there's too much going on. Like, you should be in singlets. That's why in amateur wrestling, they wear tights and singlets. And why is there a loose rope belt? Of course that's coming off. And now it's around my neck.
So you can be choked
Yeah,
with
and this
it.
guy's doing this, and I'm like, I'll sign up for a month, you know? Like, it's not a good outfit for what's going on.
That's why I don't do like when you join a gym, there's like, oh, you get a free training session. I go, pass. So what? He could make me sore for a week and then try to tell me that I should sign up for more class. No, I'm not doing that. The answer is no, I will not be signing up.
I'm not signing up for this assault. Are you going to come back to boxing?
Probably not.
All right.
I mean, I enjoyed it, but I just don't want my cyst to come back.
Yeah. I just want to be built like a boxer, and it's so hard. They're so small. They're so slight. Nothing jiggles. Like I've realized I'm gaining new fat, like in different places. One of the classes we did a thing where we had to do high knees and throw punches at the same time, and my entire back fat was just bouncing up and down like it wasn't even part of my body. It was like I was wearing a backpack filled with Jell-O, and it was just slapping up and down, and I'm like, is my back meat that loose that it was like it wasn't touching my bones? It was just being held on by like Stretch Armstrong material, and it was just woof, woof, woof. And I'm like, is this weird for the people behind me? They're just like watching like a Category 10 earthquake happen on my lats.
You show up the next day, you're like, oh, you chose to wear a wool coat during practice today. Okay, well, a little shy.
I'm a little shy about the jiggle. I feel like.
That's why I wear a hoodie when I go to the gym, because when I'm on the treadmill or
Yeah.
nobody needs to see what I feel. This is
I have
terrible.
bouncing breasts, buddy. I feel anytime I see women run, and I'm like, man, that must suck, because I got a couple nice little A cups going on here, and they definitely jostle around. You know, if I run too much, the nips rub on the material. Now you're bleeding out of the nips. That's a thing. They put Band-Aids over those. You know.
When I first moved to New York, I went to the marathon. I just held up a sign that said, "Your nipples are bleeding." I had a good time. Got a lot of sneers. But
I remember high school football during spring training. We wouldn't put pads on. It's all just kind of walk through. It's very simple. And they gave us basketball jersey type things with the Knights on them, had our numbers or whatever. And we were wearing those without shirts underneath. And the first day, it tore everybody's nipples up like 30 minutes into practice. And the coach was like, all right, we're going to toughen everyone up. This year, we had a bad year, but next year, we're going to get them, and it all starts here in spring. And 30 minutes later, there's just 115-year-olds going, oh, my nipples, my nipples. And you could just see Coach going, we're going 0-10 again. Like, there's no way these kids are tough enough. So, yeah.
it's time to cancel those away games. We're not getting on a bus with these idiots.
Oh, my God. How much have we recorded on this one? Because I think...
Probably about the same. Right around 50.
All right, cool, because I am running out of time. I have to pack for Portland. I got to drive to Oxnard. I got to run water. I'm going to shower. I don't know why I was trying to make that vulgar. All I said was I got to run water, and I'm like, why are we doing that?
I got to go run water down a thing.
Yeah, through my CPAP machine. But anyway...
Make sure it's distilled.
Make sure it's distilled. Best of luck to your CPAP machine.
Mm-hmm.
Best of luck to whatever you're doing in life.
What?
I don't know. I thought I was going to try to... I never know how to end an episode.
Let Mike end it.
Mike, you end this one.
Well, that's been another episode of This Week in Zoltan. Make sure you check zoltancomedy.com for all upcoming dates. The tour that I can't remember the name of, but it looks like a carnival poster, is coming to your town sometime soon. It's the Evil Knievel Make It Grievel. But tour, check them out. You can go see Ammo rolling her eyes at Zoltan for the next 25 minutes while he's complaining about having to pack. Because guess what, folks? He should have packed earlier.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's all for us. You can catch Mike on the side of the road for some reason.
Thank you, Bob Euchre. That was a good Bob Euchre. That was excellent. All right. Cheers, everybody. We'll catch you next time.
Bye.
Trekking heavy or traveling light, there's one thing that's right.